spectators is very lively, very energetic. With a more packed arena, there's more heat generated by the audience. So when this spectator heat rises, it will hit the prevailing winds, and this creates a lot of turbulence that could affect the Red Lions as they come down to land. But they have been training for this kind of conditions. We all enjoy it. Yeah, sit down. Let's continue to enjoy it. For NDP, everything is coordinated down to the seconds. So all these countdown timings serves as a lead time.
Landing award. La la landing. To get for knife.
Hey, I see the winds are really good. Good job. Perhaps the best, I would say, in job in
Iya, ini salah orang langsung di aku juga nggak perhatikan masa ini Jeff busnya saya langsung ini salah bos kan iyalah kan di vlog saya tuh jangan itu akun spam bebas
happy and I'm still excited over the win. I'm very relieved and also at the same time very glad. You see the result that the effort you put in.
Media Warrant Officer, please correct friendly surrender 2,970 John. Let's go Singapore. Yeah!
You excited? The crowd was, I can hear them way up high. The feeling is great. I just want to explain it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, our Red Lions. I just feel so emotional looking back at the journey that we went through and all the hard work, all the times they fell down, they had to overcome setbacks during their training. It's really a privilege to see the team grow and wowing the crowd today. It made everything worth it. National Day Parade requires a high level of coordination and precision in the execution down to the seconds. And all this precision is required in operations as well. So when you see NDP well executed, it is a reflection of the level of efficiency and operational readiness of the armed forces. Yes, and this is people try to prevent themselves from colliding. So fly as close as possible would be very nice. But it's not easy to achieve. These select red lines from highly trained military football instructors to participate in these play jumps. They are the creams of the crowd. Let us focus on building that performance to high level to achieve the final mission at any peak.
Indonesia's new capital city is slowly rising. More than 1,000 kilometers from Jakarta, suddenly appearing from cracked. It's always interesting for many planners. With just 1 year to its inauguration, will Nusantara be ready?
All infrastructure development need to consider not only the environment but also the community.
Nusantara, 1 year to Indonesia's big move. Insight, Thursday on Siaran.
Fly fishing is a cheap, illegal fishing method that fishermen use to catch large-scale fish.
Kadang-kadang bila ia nakabulkan, saya boleh rasa juga.
All the developments you need to know about. The latest news and trends. You can cover all in
Donald Trump to release a report next Monday that says exonerates him after the former U.S. president was indicted on a multitude of charges for a scheme to illegally overturn the 2020 election result in the state of Georgia. Russia and China shoulder to shoulder in a strengthening strategic partnership voice criticism of U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy and indicate greater defense cooperation with Iran and Belarus. Afghanistan's Taliban marks the second anniversary of their takeover of Kabul and the establishment of what they describe as security throughout the country under an Islamic system. But for many Afghan women, their plight is dire. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi hitting back at critics in an Independence Day speech says peace is returning to the northeastern state of Manipur. Pressing current violence has killed almost 200 people since May. More than 11 million Chinese graduates this year, but can they find work? Beijing holds back on July's number for jobless youth, prompting fears it could be another month of record high unemployment.
I'm Ronnie Santani. Also tonight, Top Gun time in Singapore. The capabilities of the nation's Air Force will be put on full display at its first open house in 7 years. Plus, Spain beat Sweden in a thrilling finish to reach their first Women's World Cup final. They will face England or Australia on Sunday.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump has announced he will be releasing a report on quoting presidential election fraud next week, as he says will exonerate him from the latest charges leveled against him. The Georgia grand jury had charged Mr. Trump and 18 others with racketeering and other offenses related to their efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. The sprawling 98-page indictment listed 41 criminal counts in all. Racketeering used to target members of organized crime groups carries a penalty of up to 20 years in prison. All 19 defendants arrested due next Friday to surrender voluntarily or face arrest. And for more, Benji Hyatt joins us live from Washington with more. Benji, how is this latest indictment any different from Mr. Trump's other criminal charges? Do the racketeering charges pose a credible threat to his presidential bid?
It's a good question because it's easy to get a bit lost in the weeds when you have indictment followed by indictment followed by indictment. This one is different from the rest. The first thing to point out is that it's happening on a state rather than federal or national level. It means the repercussions are quite different. There is no power, for instance, for a president or the state's governor to pardon the defendants if they are found not guilty. It means if Donald Trump were to get into the White House, he couldn't just simply say, I'm an innocent man, and move on. The second thing is that this isn't focused just on one individual, like many of the other indictments. This is referencing what prosecutors feel is a wide criminal enterprise. 19 defendants in all. And again, we look at the other indictments, it's very difficult in some situations to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Donald Trump has done wrongdoing. With this, prosecutors feel there is incriminating evidence and proof that he attempted to subvert the outcome of the presidential election in the state of Georgia. Notably, for example, a phone call that was recorded where we hear the then president, trying to pressure the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, to find roughly 12,000 votes in Donald Trump's favor that would have flipped the state from Democrat to Republican. And finally, the fact that it is on a state level means that there are serious possible convictions to come from this. The district attorney laying out last night that the racketeering statute that you mentioned is subject to a mandatory minimum sentence, almost certainly jail time. So if the trial happens before the 2024 presidential election, if Donald Trump is found guilty, he'd be running for the White House behind bars.
Mr. Trump almost certainly faces jail time, as you say. His legal team have been trying to delay his other trials until after the 2024 presidential election. We expect it will be the same with this case.
I think so. I mean, the top position is definitely that this is a politically motivated effort to bring him down in the courts rather than into the ballot box, that this is a way to interfere in the election for which he remains the Republican Party frontrunner to take on Joe Biden. It's why prosecutors want to try to bring this trial as soon as possible within the next 6 months and try all the defendants at once. The schedule is going to be very tricky, though. Let me just lay out very briefly some of the cases that the former president faces. One in New York in October for fraud, January for defamation, another one in January for fraud. Those are civil cases, criminal ones. In March 2024, a trial related to his alleged hush money payments and falsifying business records. In May 2024, the trial related to his alleged efforts to retain and mishandle classified documents and obstruct justice. Then there are these two investigations, one on a federal level for which Donald Trump has pleaded guilty and has been arraigned in Washington, D.C. in past weeks for his alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election on a U.S. nationwide scale. And then this specific state one, the calendar is looking very, very tight, especially when you're considering that Donald Trump, during all of this, is vying for the White House again.
Thank you very much for that update, Benji. Benji Hyatt reporting live from Washington, D.C.
Russia has hailed a steadfast partnership with China at the annual Moscow Conference on International Security. Moscow has gathered diplomats from the key allies to discuss geopolitical challenges and make a stand against Western influence. Chinese Defense Minister Li Shangfu met his Russian counterpart on the sidelines of the conference. It was their third meeting this year. Sergei Shoigu said relations with Beijing have exceeded the level of a strategic partnership in all aspects, and the allies are maintaining contact at the highest level of government. Mr. Li said military trade relations between China and Russia are not directly against any country. He also said Beijing is ready to step up defense cooperation with Iran and Belarus, whose representatives were also present at the event.
为了世界更公平，我们需要团结一致，共同抵制为所欲为的强权政治。为了世界更安全，我们需要守望相助，共同抵制全球伸手的军事霸凌。为了世界更包容，我们需要和同共济，共同抵制不择手段的遏制打压。
At the conference, Russian President Vladimir Putin criticized the U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy, saying Washington's only goal in the region is to form military and political bloc led by the U.S. He also accused the West of provoking new conflicts around the world and trying to benefit from them.
Очевидно, напряженность это негативная функция. И хотя вызовы безопасности в каждом из них имеют свои особенности, по сути все они порождены геополитическими авантюрами и эгоистическими неуклоняльными действиями Запада.
Russia's military activity in Ukraine did not prominently in Tuesday's discussions. The Russian defense minister said Kyiv's ability to fight had been almost exhausted and that the war had exposed vulnerabilities in Western weapon systems that Moscow will soon share with its partners.
В ходе специальной военной операции российская армия размещала множество фильмов о превосходстве западных военных стандартов. Стало очевидно, что использование западного вооружения якобы передовых натовских методов планирования операции способствовало способу управления войсками и подготовки не может обеспечить превосходство на поле боя.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has spoken to Mali military leader about the recent coup in Niger. The phone call between the two is likely to inflame Western fears over Russia's growing influence in West Africa's Sahel region. Mali's military leader, Assimi Goïta, says President Putin stressed the importance of a peaceful resolution in Niger and called for a return to constitutional order. The Kremlin said in a statement that the call was initiated by Mali and reiterated the importance of resolving the crisis solely through peaceful, political, and diplomatic means. A spokesperson from regional bloc ECOWAS says West Africa's army chiefs will be meeting in Ghana this week to prepare for a possible military intervention to restore democratic order in Niger. The latest move by ECOWAS comes after the bloc approved the deployment of a standby force last week, following the expiration of its one-week ultimatum to Niger's military leader to restore President Mohamed Bazoum or face the potential use of force. ECOWAS has said that it preferred the diplomatic outcome to the crisis.
The Taliban government are marking the second anniversary of their return to power in Afghanistan. Dozens of armed soldiers and military vehicles waved large white Taliban flags while driving through the streets in Kabul. Residents and supporters also gathered in the streets to welcome the informal parade. After a lightning offensive as U.S.-led foreign forces withdrew from Afghanistan, Taliban retook Kabul on this day in 2021 as the U.S.-backed government crumbled. The date has been declared a holiday for the country. The UN says there have been dozens of attacks on civilians under Taliban rule. Some of the violence has been claimed by the Islamic State rivals of the Taliban. Lives of many women have also become dire since their return. They have previously enjoyed extensive rights and freedoms during the 2 decades of rule by Western-backed governments.
Ahead onward tonight, Beijing holds back on July's number for job issues, prompting fears it could be another month of record high unemployment. And Russia's central bank hiked its key interest rate in an emergency move to stem a slump in its currencies.
Indonesia's new capital city is slowly rising. More than 1,000 kilometers from Jakarta, starting a city from scratch is always interesting for many planners. With just 1 year to its inauguration, will Nusantara be ready?
All infrastructure development need to consider not only the environment but also the community. My name is coming.
Nusantara, 1 year to Indonesia's big news. Insight, Thursday on Siaran. 这里头的内容都丰富的，叫你看看什么地啊，好大。
Every generation, that's what it matters is called.